Good morning, Gophers and Wolves. Today is Favorite Sport Day. I look forward to seeing all of your answers for what your favorite sport is on band. I also want to make sure we give a big shout out to Quinn, who had her birthday on Saturday. Happy birthday, Quinn! All right, we are going to start today by reading about a new home. Abraham loved God. So did his wife, Sarah. One day, God told Abraham to move to a new land. So, along with their helpers, Abraham and Sarah packed up and went. Abraham's nephew was Lot. Lot and all of his helpers went with them too. The helpers began to fight. There was not enough grass for all the animals. So Abraham said to Lot, "You pick your own land to live on." Lot chose the best land. It had the most green grass and the most water for his animals. Lot moved to his new home. Then God gave Abraham a blessing. God said, "All the land you see here will be yours forever. Also, you and Sarah will be blessed with many children." God led Abraham and Sarah to a place called Hebron. It was beautiful. All right, let's move on to our math. Today we're going to continue working with graphs. So we are going to be working with graphs that look like this. These are called picture graphs. When we use picture graphs, you're going to have something called a key. The key tells you how many each one of the pictures is worth. So every clock is worth 5 clocks in this picture. So in order to do this, we're going to start by counting how many clocks we have and writing them at the end. But instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we look at the key and go, each clock is worth 5 clocks. So I'd go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Then you write 25 right here. That's how many Miss Moreno has. Now we're going to look at Mr. Connor. He has 5, 10, 15. So you'd write 15 right here. Now we're going to look at Mrs. Patel. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So you're going to write 35. All right. Now we're going to use this graph to help us answer these questions. Miss Moreno has 20 students in her class. She wants them all to have clocks. How many clocks does she have? So we look up here at Miss Moreno, and look, is this number that you wrote down, is that big enough for all of her students? And how many does she have? So how many does she have? Goes right here. Does Mrs. Moreno have enough clocks? Was this answer bigger than 20? If it was, circle yes. If it wasn't, circle no. Does she have any clocks left over? Yes or no? If she gave each of her students one, would she have any left over? How many clocks does Mr. Connor have? So look at Mr. Connor. Remember, we're not going 1, 2, 3. We're looking and remembering those are all worth 5. So what number did you write here? That goes right there. Who has more clocks than Miss Moreno? Does Mr. Connor have more clocks? Or does Mrs. Patel have more clocks? Write down the name of the person right here who has more clocks. Mrs. Patel wants 20 more clocks. Can she borrow enough clocks from Mr. Connor? Does Mr. Connor have 20 clocks? Yes or no? We're going to turn it over and see another picture graph. Now, we're going to look for our key in this picture graph just like we did with the clocks. The key tells us that each picture is worth 2 ships. So this time we're counting by 2s. Remember, we're writing it at the end how much it's worth. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Write 10 for West Quoddy Head. Now we're going to go to Peggy's Cove. 2, 4, 6. So we write 6 for Peggy's Cove. Then Portland Head. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We write 12. Then we're going to go to Tybee Island. 2, 4, 6, 8. Write 8. Now we're going to use this graph to help us answer these questions. Which lighthouse served 8 ships? Remember, we're not looking to count these. We're looking at the number of ships, counting by 2s. So which one of these answers is worth 2? You write that one down here. Was it West Colby Head, Peggy's Cove, Portland Head, or Tybee Island? Number 8. How many ships sailed by the Portland Head Lighthouse? So, how many ships sailed past Portland Head? What's your number right here? Number 9. How many more ships sailed by the West Colby Head Lighthouse than the Tybee Island Lighthouse? So, this means we have to do a math problem. They give us a space to write it down. So we write West Colby Head right here. How many did they have? This number goes right there. And then Tybee Island goes right there. So then we need to subtract them. Subtract this number from that one and write it here. The same answer you put there. All right, number 10. How many ships were served by the West Colby Head Lighthouse? How many ships were served by the West Colby Head Lighthouse and the Peggy Cove Lighthouse all together? Remember, all together is one of those key words that tells us to add. So we're going to look at West Colby Head Lighthouse. Whatever this number is, you write it here. Then you're going to look at Peggy Cove Lighthouse. What number is there? Write it here. Then we add them together. Write your answer here and then write it again right there. How many ships were served all together? So we can choose to either just plus, or we can count by 2 to add them all at once. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36. A 3 and then a 6. All right, let's move on to your phonics. All right, today in phonics, I will start by reading you 2 word families, and then you guys get to do some crossword puzzles. We have find, mind, blind, child, wild, mild. All right, we're working on some short I sounds, it sounds like. I'm going to read you the question, and then these pictures with the words next to them are your choices for answers to fill in these blank spots. I'll start with number 1. A grandchild put it on her head. Would she put a gown on her head, a fur, a wig, a vest, a necktie, or a scarf? You write your answer here. Then we'll go to 2. A grandchild put it on to look nice. What would a grandchild put on to look nice? That goes here. A gown, a fur, a wig, a vest, a necktie, a scarf, or a cane. Then we're going to do number 3. Goes right here. A grandchild put it around his neck. What would he put around his neck? Would he put a gown around his neck, a fur, a wig, a vest, a necktie, a scarf, or a cane? Remember, each one of these spots has to be filled in, so it needs to be a long enough word to fill in those spots. Number 4. A grandchild held it to help him along. What would he use to help him along? A gown, a fur, a wig, a cane, a vest, a necktie, a scarf, or a cane. Number 5. A grandchild put it over his shirt. What would he wear over his shirt? A gown, a fur, a wig, a vest, a necktie, a scarf, or a cane. Number 6. A grandchild put it around her neck. What would she wear around her neck for number 6? A gown, a fur, a wig, a vest, a necktie, or a scarf, or a cane. Number 7. A grandchild put it over her gown. Would she put a gown over her gown, a fur, a wig, a vest, a necktie, a scarf, or a cane for number 7? All right, I want to point out our star readers for this week. We have Amanda, Gregory, Isaac, and Sophia. Wonderful job. I hope you all have a great day.